Hello students, let us start our new session with the new topic of chapter number 13, magnetic effects of electric current. So let us start this session with the electric generator, which is working based on the fundamental of electromagnetic induction that we have already done in last session. So now, based on the electromagnetic induction, let us understand that how electric generator works. Now we know that generator is a device which gives us a supply, electric supply. If the electricity from the transmission line is not available, so temporarily we can switch on the generator and power supply can be provided through it. That we know. Right? It means output of the generator we have the electric current. So the input of it should be a mechanical energy. So electric generator is the device in which the mechanical energy is given as an input, and at the output it produce electricity, electric current. Now this mechanical energy is used to rotate a conductor in a magnetic field to generate that electric current. So as we can see in the diagram, electric generator works in opposite to the electric motor. Electric motor to which electric current is given as an input and output is a motion of the motor. It means mechanical energy. Here the rotation we are providing as an input in the form of mechanical energy, and output we are getting in terms of electricity. So in the diagram, a rotating rectangular coil is available, ABCD. It is placed between permanent magnets between north and south pole. Now over here again a magnetic field and a coil placed in perpendicular direction to get the maximum force. So the two ends of the coil are connected with the two rings R1 and R2. Here the whole movable ring is available. These are not the split rings. Right now for the generator we are using full ring R1 and R2, and the inner side of the rings are insulated. So and two conducting brushes are connected, B1 and B2. These are fixed. This B1 and B2 are kept pressed and they both are connected separately. Brush B1 connected with the ring R1 and brush B2 is connected with the ring R2. So this R1 and R2 are internally connected with axle. This axle may be mechanically rotated from outside to rotate a coil inside the magnetic field. Now, outer end of the two brushes are connected with the galvanometer to verify that current flow is available or not in the given external circuit. So here, when the axle attached to the two rings, which is rotated such that AB arm moves in up direction, so CD arm moves down direction. It means we are providing a clockwise direction right now in the magnetic field. This magnetic field is present between the permanent magnet. So ABCD coil is rotated in clockwise direction. So by the Fleming's right hand rule, which we have discussed in previous session, the current is induced along with the arms in the direction ABCD. So while the coil is moving in clockwise direction, current is in ABCD direction is flowing. So current flow in ABCD direction. Now there are large number, if we are keeping instead of a single coil, large number of turns are provided to the coil, then current generated in each turn is going to be added and the final current is higher. So, while the current is flowing through the coil, that current is also passing through the brushes via ring, that is from B2 to B1, and the current in the external circuit is flowing from B1 to B2. So both are in opposite direction. So with this thing, after every rotation, the polarity of the current is varying in that particular respective arms. Because current is in the external circuit, current in the external circuit flow from B2 to B1. Now the current in the next half, in the next rotation, current is moving from B1 to B2. So once current flowing from B2 to B1, now we are providing another rotation with the coil in the anti-clockwise direction, then current is flowing from B1 to B2. So likewise current polarity is varying, and based on that positive and negative cycles we able to get it, we generate the alternating current which is known as AC current. So this generator is known as AC generator. Now if we want to get a DC current, direct current, so instead of the full ring we supposed to use split ring, that is a type of commutator which we have used in motor. So with this arrangement, one brush is all time contact with the arm moving up in the field, and while the other is contact with the arm which is moving in down direction. So brush movement is also constant and fixed with the split ring. So now the working of that split ring commutator that is same as we have utilized in motor. So in this way current is produced in a single direction because half rotation is there, so positive and negative polarity of the current is same, so the current is flowing in unidirection continuously. All the time positive current is available, so that is known as DC current generator, direct current generator. So here the difference between the direct and alternating current is that direct current, DC current, is always flow in one direction, while the alternating current is flowing in both the direction repeatedly, periodically. So our most of power stations are constructed based on AC. Why? Because electric power can be transmitted over the long distance without much loss. If the DC is there, then losses are more. So power transmission at the longer distance possible with the AC, but with the DC longer distance transmission is not possible. In India, AC supply, it is available with us, that is with 1/1000 second. It means 50 Hertz frequency of the generated AC power is available. In out of India, it is generally a 60 Hertz frequency is there. And that's why if we purchase any appliance from out of India, then we require a converter because their device is working with a 60 Hertz frequency. From our mains, we have a 50 Hertz frequency. So these both should be compatible. For this compatible device, we are using a converter. Right? Now, let us go through the another topic, domestic electric circuits. So in our home, we receive a power supply. The electric power from the main supply or the mains either supported through overhead electric poles or from the underground cables. Now in this supply, generally we have two wires. One is a red and another one is a black. So red insulated wire, see in between the conducting cables are same, but where we are connecting this particular wire, this is important. Now, while the supply or the connections we are providing, positive connected with the positive and negative connected with the negative. At that time only that parallelly power supply can be transferred to the device. If opposite polarities are given, then device may damage. To understand that, always positive wire or the live wire to which we are providing insulation with the red color. So it is universally accepted that red color defines for positive or live wire, and the wire to which we are providing black insulation, that is known as a negative wire or neutral wire. In our country, as we discussed, 50 hertz power supply is given with the voltage value or the magnitude that is 220 to 230 volt. And at our meter board in our house, these wires are passed into the electric meter through the fuse, through the main fuse. So main switch, they are connected to the line wires in our house. So through the fuse, this main switches, these particular wires are available to our home. This wire supply electricity to separate circuits within the house. Generally, two separate circuits are there. As we know, some of the appliances can work with the low current and some of the appliances to which we require a high power. If you observe that if the heavy devices are there like AC, refrigerator, geyser, for that whatever the switches are available over which it is defined 10 ampere or 15 ampere, it defines that this particular device requires higher power. For that, separate circuit is required. For the normal devices, fan, tube light, mixers are required a less power, and that's why 5 ampere circuitry is sufficient. But for the bulky devices, higher power requirement. For that, 15 ampere, 10 to 15 ampere current rating is required. For that, two separate circuitry is available. And another third wire is available, which while we focus in the plug, whatever the middle point is there, that is a earthing wire is there, which has the insulation of green color, and that is usually connected to the metal plate in the earth near the house. So whatever, if the heavy power is available, then from the earth wire it will be grounded. So that is the earthing wire we are seeing. So this is used for a safety measure, especially for those appliances that have a metallic body. For example, electric press, toaster, table fan, refrigerator, likewise. So we can observe that if we are having bulky devices which are working with the AC supply directly, they are in plug, they have the 3 pins. But while the mobile charger or like this, it is having only 2 pins. So positive and negative is sufficient with it. So that metallic body is connected with the earth wire, which provides a low resistance path for the current. So the major higher current will be flow through that earth, because where the resistance is low, current is flowing maximum. So maximum current from the earthing wire, it will be grounded. So our device may not damage from the higher power. So it ensures that leakage of the current to the metallic body of the appliances keeps its potential to that earth, and the user may not get severe electric shock. So here the diagram is defined. That is a common domestic circuit. For that, separate circuit is defined for the different appliances that can be connected across the live and neutral wire. So here we can say that green color is for the earthing. It is connected with the middle pin, that is a bigger pin. One terminal is connected with the red wire, that is a live wire, positive wire, and another terminal is connected with the black wire, that is a neutral wire. So that at our home 220 to 230 volt is there. Before applying at our home, distribution box is available for the main switch that is connected with the fuse. So, and that at our home, whatever that domestic circuit is, domestic box is there, it is connected with the meter, which defines the how much electricity is used in units with the electric board and fuse. So each appliance has a separate on-off switch to flow the current through it. In order to get the appliance with the equal potential, each appliance connected in parallel to each other. So if they all are connected to parallel, at that time only each switching board gets 220 volt at the same voltage. If they are connected in series, then voltage will be divided. If voltage will be divided, then in each electric board we are not getting a 220 volt enough supply, and that's why all boards are connected in parallel. Here electric fuse we have used. It is important in domestic circuit. Fuse in a circuit, it prevents the damage to the appliance if the current is overloading, or if for instant of time higher current is flowing through it. Overloading can occur due to the short circuit if live wire and neutral wire come across in direct current, or this insulation of that wire will damage, so due to the fault they come across in contact. In such a situation, if higher current is passing through it due to the short circuit, then fuse will burn in electric circuit, and as the fuse will burn, so whatever the current is there, it won't pass further, circuit will be open. And in open circuit, current won't flow. So fuse is available in the series. If higher current is passing through it, it will burn, it will damage. So that in between device is damaged, so circuit will be open, current won't pass further. So our appliances, our devices can be prevented through it from the damage. So here Joule heating formula or the law is utilized to melt that particular fuse to break our electric circuit to prevent from overloading. So sometimes overloading caused by connecting too many appliances in a single socket can occur accidentally when the hike in the power supply is available. So here we are going to end this session. With that, we are going to end this chapter. Hope you understood the whole chapter thoroughly. Thank you.